Welcome to US Coins Hub, where history meets hidden value. Today, we uncover a rare piece of American heritage, a coin that tells a story, holds mystery, and could be worth far more than its face value. So slow down, listen closely, and step into the timeless world of rare and valuable US coins. Let's dive into today's video. Top 1, we are going to explore one of the most interesting coins from the famous American State Quarter series. The Vermont State Quarter, released in 2001. When the State Quarters program began, it quickly became one of the most exciting coin programs ever introduced in the United States. The program was created by the United States Mint to honor every state with its own unique quarter design. Starting in 1999, new coins were released each year, and people across the country started checking their change carefully. Families, students, and collectors all joined in the fun of building complete sets of these historic coins. In 2001, the state of Vermont was featured in the series. Vermont is famous for its beautiful mountains, peaceful countryside, and its long tradition of producing maple syrup. The coin's design perfectly captures this important part of the state's identity and culture. On the reverse side of the Vermont quarter, you can see a detailed scene showing a person collecting sap from a maple tree. This image represents the traditional method of producing maple syrup, something Vermont is known for around the world. In the background of the design, you can see the rolling green mountains stretching across the horizon, symbolizing the natural beauty of the state. This peaceful rural scene makes the Vermont Quarter one of the most charming designs in the entire State Quarters series. Many collectors admire it because it celebrates both nature and tradition in a simple but meaningful way. On the front side of the coin appears the well-known portrait of George Washington. His image has appeared on American quarters for many decades and represents the leadership and history that helped shape the nation. At first glance, the Vermont quarter might appear to be a very common coin. After all, millions of them were produced and released into circulation across the country. Most of these coins were used in everyday purchases and passed through countless hands over the years. Because of this, many examples today show signs of wear, such as scratches, dull surfaces, and faded design details. However, collectors are always searching for coins that stand out from the rest. A coin that still looks bright and sharp, with its original mint luster and crisp details, can be much more valuable than a heavily circulated example. Coins that have been carefully stored or never used in circulation are far more difficult to find today. Another exciting factor that can increase the value of the Vermont quarter is the presence of minting errors. During the coin production process, millions of coins are struck using powerful machines. Occasionally, something unusual happens during this process, creating coins with unique characteristics. Some Vermont quarters have been discovered with doubled lettering, where certain words appear slightly duplicated due to a striking error. Others show off center strikes, where the design is not perfectly aligned with the edge of the coin. These unusual variations are highly interesting to collectors because they make the coin different from the standard version. There are also coins that show die cracks or small raised lines on the surface. These occur when the metal die used to strike the coins begins to wear or crack. When this happens, the flaw transfers onto the coin itself, creating a distinctive mark that collectors can identify. Another type of rare variation occurs when the coin is struck with uneven pressure. This can cause parts of the maple tree or background mountains to appear softer or less detailed. While this might seem like a flaw to some people, collectors often see it as a unique feature that adds character to the coin. Professional grading also plays a huge role in determining a coin's value. Expert graders examine coins carefully using magnification and special lighting. They assign a grade based on the coin's overall condition, surface quality, and level of detail. Coins that receive extremely high grades are incredibly rare because even the smallest scratch or mark can lower the grade. A Vermont quarter that survives in near-perfect condition with brilliant shine and flawless surfaces can become a prized piece among serious collectors. One of the most exciting parts of coin collecting is the possibility that valuable coins may still be hiding in everyday places. Many collectors search through pocket change, coin rolls from banks, and old jars of coins hoping to discover something unusual. Imagine sorting through a handful of quarters and noticing one that looks unusually bright and detailed. That small moment of curiosity could lead to the discovery of a rare coin that collectors everywhere would be eager to own. The Vermont quarter is more than just 25 cents. It represents the peaceful traditions of maple syrup harvesting and the natural beauty of the Green Mountain State. At the same time, it reminds us that even modern coins can sometimes become valuable treasures when rarity, condition, and minting errors come together. And now comes the moment that every coin enthusiast has been waiting for. While most Vermont quarters are worth only their face value, a rare example with exceptional condition or a remarkable minting error could reach an astonishing value of $84,000. Top 2, we're exploring one of those interesting coins from the famous American State Quarter series. The Arkansas State Quarter, released in 2003, the State Quarters program became one of the most successful coin initiatives ever created in the United States. It was introduced by the United States Mint to celebrate every state with a special coin design. Starting in 1999, 5 new state quarters were released each year, and people across the country began collecting them. What once seemed like ordinary pocket change suddenly became part of a nationwide treasure hunt. In 2003, the state of Arkansas was honored in this historic coin series. Arkansas is known for its beautiful natural landscapes, rich wildlife, and important role in American history. The design of the Arkansas quarter reflects these features in a way that captures both the beauty and the spirit of the state. But on the reverse side of the coin, the design shows a peaceful natural scene featuring a duck flying gracefully over a lake surrounded by trees. This image represents Arkansas's reputation as one of the most famous duck hunting regions in North America. The state's wetlands and rivers provide the perfect environment for waterfowl, making it a paradise for wildlife lovers and outdoor enthusiasts. Another key element of the design is the inclusion of rice stalks. Arkansas is one of the leading rice-producing states in the country, and this agricultural symbol highlights the importance of farming to the state's economy. The combination of wildlife and agriculture makes this quarter both meaningful and visually appealing. The design also references the beauty of Arkansas, often called the natural state because of its forests, mountains, rivers, and lakes. Collectors appreciate coins that capture the identity of a place, and this quarter does exactly that. On the front side of the coin, you will see the familiar portrait of George Washington. This classic design has appeared on American quarters for generations and connects modern coins to the early history of the nation. At first glance, the Arkansas quarter may appear very common. After all, millions of these coins were produced and released into circulation across the country. Most of them were used in everyday transactions for many years, which means they often show signs of wear such as scratches, dull surfaces, and faded details. However, collectors know that not all coins are the same. Some coins were preserved carefully and remain in near-perfect condition even today. These coins still display bright mint luster, sharp details, and clean surfaces. Because so many coins were heavily used, finding one in pristine condition is far more difficult, which makes these high-quality examples much more valuable to collectors. Another reason the Arkansas quarter can become extremely valuable is the possibility of minting errors. During the minting process, huge numbers of coins are produced every day. Occasionally, something unusual happens during production, creating coins that look different from the normal version. Some Arkansas quarters have been found with doubled lettering, where the words appear slightly duplicated due to a striking error. Others show off center strikes, meaning the design was not perfectly aligned when the coin was struck. These unusual variations make the coin unique and much more interesting to collectors. Another type of error involves die cracks or raised lines on the surface of the coin. These occur when the metal dies used to strike the coins develop small cracks from repeated use. When this happens, the crack pattern transfers onto the coin, creating distinctive lines across parts of the design. Collectors also pay close attention to coins that show weak or uneven strikes. If the minting pressure was slightly off, some parts of the design may appear softer or less detailed than the rest. While these may seem like imperfections, collectors often consider them fascinating because they reveal something about the minting process. Professional grading also plays a huge role in determining how valuable a coin can become. Expert graders examine coins under powerful magnification and assign a grade based on their condition. Coins with extremely high grades are very rare because even the smallest mark can reduce the score. An Arkansas quarter that survives in near-perfect condition with brilliant shine and flawless surfaces can become a prized item for serious collectors. These coins often become the highlight of collections focused on modern American coinage. One of the most exciting aspects of coin collecting is the possibility that valuable coins might still be hiding in everyday places. Many collectors search through pocket change, bank coin rolls, and old jars of coins hoping to discover something special. Imagine sorting through a handful of quarters and noticing one that looks unusually sharp and bright. That small moment of curiosity could lead to the discovery of a coin that collectors would love to own. The Arkansas quarter represents more than just 25 cents. It tells the story of wildlife, agriculture, and the natural beauty that defines the state. At the same time, it reminds us that even modern coins can sometimes hold surprising value when rarity, condition, and minting errors come together. And now comes the exciting moment everyone has been waiting for. While most Arkansas quarters are worth only their face value, a rare example with exceptional preservation or a remarkable minting error could reach an astonishing value of $81,000. Top 3, we are going to explore one of the most talked about coins from the American State Quarters series. The Wisconsin State Quarter, released in 2004, that the State Quarters program was one of the most successful coin programs ever created in the United States. It was introduced by the United States Mint and began in 1999. Each year, several states were honored with their own unique quarter design. The program quickly captured the attention of the public, and millions of people began collecting these coins. What once seemed like ordinary change suddenly became a nationwide hobby filled with excitement and discovery. In 2004, the state of Wisconsin was featured in the series. Wisconsin is well known for its farming traditions, dairy industry, and beautiful rural landscapes. Because of this rich agricultural heritage, the design chosen for the Wisconsin quarter highlights the importance of farming in the state's culture and economy. On the reverse side of the coin, the design shows a detailed farm scene. A wheel of cheese appears beside an ear of corn, two symbols that represent Wisconsin's strong agricultural roots. The state is famous for its dairy production and is often called America's Dairyland. The corn also reflects the importance of farming in the region and the hardworking communities that have shaped the state's identity. This simple, yet meaningful design makes the Wisconsin quarter one of the most recognizable coins in the entire State Quarters series. Many collectors appreciate the way it honors the farming traditions of Wisconsin and celebrates the state's contribution to American agriculture. On the front side of the coin, you will find the familiar portrait of George Washington. His image has appeared on American quarters for generations and represents the long history and leadership that helped form the nation. At the first glance, the Wisconsin quarter might appear to be very common. After all, millions of these coins were produced and distributed throughout the country. Most of them were used in everyday purchases, which means they often show signs of wear such as scratches, dull surfaces, and faded details. However, collectors always search carefully for coins that are different from the rest. Some coins were preserved in excellent condition and still display bright mint luster and sharp design details. These high-quality examples are much harder to find today, and collectors are always eager to add them to their collections. What truly makes the Wisconsin quarter famous among collectors is the possibility of rare minting errors. During the coin production process, massive numbers of coins are struck by machines every day. Occasionally, something unusual happens that creates a coin with unique features. One of the most famous errors associated with the Wisconsin quarter involves the corn design. Some coins were discovered with what collectors call an extra leaf on the corn stalk. In these rare variations, an additional leaf appears either pointing upward or downward beside the ear of corn. These unusual variations were likely caused by small changes or damage to the minting die during production. Because these extra leaf varieties are so unusual, collectors quickly began searching for them. These error coins became some of the most famous modern minting mistakes in American coin collecting. Finding one of these variations can turn an ordinary-looking quarter into a highly valuable collectible. Other minting errors can also increase the value of the Wisconsin quarter. Some coins show doubled lettering, where parts of the words appear slightly repeated. Others may show off center strikes, where the design is not perfectly aligned with the edge of the coin. Collectors also pay attention to die cracks or raised lines that appear on the coin's surface. These cracks occur when the metal die used to strike the coins develops small fractures after repeated use. When this happens, the crack pattern transfers onto the coin itself, creating a distinctive mark that collectors can identify. Another important factor that influences value is professional grading. Expert graders examine coins carefully using magnification and special lighting. They assign a grade based on the coin's overall condition, surface quality, and level of detail. Coins that receive extremely high grades are very rare because even the smallest scratch can lower the grade. A Wisconsin quarter that survives in near-perfect condition with brilliant shine and flawless surfaces can become extremely desirable among serious collectors. The excitement of coin collecting often comes from the possibility that valuable coins may still be hiding in everyday places. Many collectors search through pocket change, bank coin rolls, and old jars of coins hoping to discover something rare. Imagine looking through a handful of quarters and noticing one with an unusual detail on the corn stalk. That moment of curiosity could lead to an exciting discovery that collectors everywhere would be eager to own. The Wisconsin quarter is more than just a piece of currency. It represents the farming traditions, agricultural strength, and hardworking spirit of the state. At the same time, it reminds collectors that even modern coins can become valuable treasures when rarity, condition, and minting errors come together. And now comes the moment everyone has been waiting for. While most Wisconsin quarters are worth only their face value, a rare example with the famous extra leaf error or exceptional preservation could reach an incredible value of $79,000. Top 4, we are going to explore an interesting and meaningful coin from the American State Quarter series. The Utah State Quarter, released in 2007, the State Quarters program became one of the most popular coin programs in United States history. It was launched by the United States, meant to celebrate every state with its own unique design. Beginning in 1999, new quarters were released each year, and people across the country began collecting them. Suddenly, checking pocket change became an exciting activity as collectors searched for each new design. In 2007, the state of Utah was honored in this historic series. Utah is known for its dramatic landscapes, mountains, deserts, and its important place in American pioneer history. Because of this rich heritage, the design chosen for the Utah quarter tells a powerful story about the people who helped shape the American West. Out on the reverse side of the coin, you can see a dramatic and historic scene. Two locomotives are shown facing each other on railroad tracks as workers drive a golden spike into the rail. This image represents the moment when the first transcontinental railroad was completed in 1869. That historic event took place at Golden Spike National Historical Park and forever changed transportation and travel in the United States. The completion of the railroad connected the eastern and western parts of the country for the first time by rail, making trade, travel, and communication much faster and easier. The Golden Spike ceremony became a symbol of unity and progress, and the Utah quarter beautifully captures that historic moment. That on the front side of the coin appears the familiar portrait of George Washington. His image has been featured on American quarters for many decades and represents the leadership and history that helped shape the nation. At first glance, the Utah quarter might seem like a very common coin. Millions were produced and released into circulation across the country. Most of them were used in everyday transactions and passed through many hands over the years. Because of this, many examples today show signs of wear, such as scratches, dull surfaces, and faded details. However, collectors know that not every coin is the same. Some coins were carefully preserved and remain in exceptional condition. These coins still show bright mint luster, crisp lettering, and detailed images. Finding one in such pristine condition is far more difficult today, which makes these coins more desirable among collectors. Another factor that can greatly increase the value of the Utah quarter is the possibility of minting errors. When coins are produced in massive numbers, small mistakes can sometimes occur during the minting process. These mistakes create unusual coins that stand out from the normal versions. Some Utah quarters have been found with doubled lettering, where the text appears slightly duplicated due to a striking error. Others show off-center strikes, where the design is not perfectly aligned with the edge of the coin. These unusual variations are highly interesting to collectors because they make each coin unique. There are also coins that display die cracks or raised lines across the surface. These cracks happen when the metal die used to strike the coins develops small fractures after repeated use. When this occurs, the crack pattern transfers onto the coin itself, creating distinctive marks that collectors can recognize. Collectors also watch carefully for weak or uneven strikes. If the minting pressure was slightly different during production, certain parts of the locomotive design or lettering may appear softer or less detailed. While some people might consider this a flaw, collectors often find these variations fascinating because they reveal details about the minting process. Professional grading also plays a major role in determining the value of a coin. Expert graders examine coins under powerful magnification and assign them a grade based on their condition. Coins with extremely high grades are very rare because even the smallest scratch or mark can reduce the score. But a Utah quarter that survives in near perfect condition with brilliant shine and flawless surfaces can become a prized piece in a serious collection. These coins are highly sought after by collectors who specialize in modern United States coinage. One of the most exciting aspects of coin collecting is the possibility that valuable coins might still be hiding in everyday places. Many collectors search through pocket change, bank coin rolls, and old jars of coins hoping to discover something rare. Imagine checking your change and noticing a Utah quarter that looks unusually bright and sharp. That small moment of curiosity could lead to an exciting discovery that collectors everywhere would love to own. The Utah quarter represents more than just 25 cents. It tells the story of the railroad that helped unite a nation and transform travel across America. At the same time, it reminds collectors that even modern coins can sometimes hold surprising value when rarity, condition, and minting errors come together. And now comes the moment everyone has been waiting for. While most Utah quarters are only worth their face value, a rare example in exceptional condition or with a remarkable minting error could reach an incredible value of $75,000. Top 5, we're exploring one of the most intriguing coins from the American State Quarter series. The Oklahoma State Quarter, released in 2008. The State Quarters program was one of the most popular and successful coin programs ever launched in the United States. Created by the United States Mint, the program honored each state with a unique quarter design. Starting in 1999, new quarters were released every year, and people across the country became excited about collecting them. What used to be simple pocket change suddenly became a treasure hunt, with millions of Americans carefully examining each coin in search of something special. In 2008, the state of Oklahoma was featured in this historic series. Known for its rich Native American heritage, abundant natural resources, and strong cultural identity, Oklahoma's quarter design celebrates the spirit and history of the state. But on the reverse side of the coin, you'll see a striking design that captures one of Oklahoma's most iconic symbols, a scissor-tailed flycatcher in mid-flight. This bird is the state bird and a symbol of freedom and resilience. Beneath the bird, there are stylized lines representing the state's vast landscape, including its prairies and rolling plains. The intricate details of the bird's wings and the landscape make this quarter visually appealing and memorable for collectors. The design of the Oklahoma quarter is more than just artistic. It's symbolic. It celebrates the natural beauty and wildlife of the state, as well as the history and pride of its people. Collectors often seek coins like this because they tell a story that goes beyond their monetary value. On the front side of the coin, as with all state quarters, we see the classic portrait of George Washington. His timeless image connects modern coins to the long history of American coinage and gives collectors a sense of continuity and tradition. At first glance, the Oklahoma quarter may seem common. Millions were produced and released into circulation across the country. Most of these coins were used in everyday transactions, which means many examples today show scratches, faded details, and dull surfaces from years of circulation. However, collectors know that condition can make all the difference. Coins that have been preserved in near-mint condition, with original shine, crisp details, and no signs of wear, are far more desirable. These pristine examples are becoming increasingly rare as more coins enter circulation, which naturally increases their appeal to collectors. Another exciting factor that can elevate the value of an Oklahoma quarter is the possibility of minting errors. During the production process, millions of coins are struck every day, and occasionally mistakes occur. These errors create coins that are unique and highly collectible. Some Oklahoma quarters have been discovered with doubled lettering, where parts of the text appear slightly duplicated due to a striking error. Others show off-center strikes, where the design is not perfectly aligned with the edge of the coin. There are also examples with die cracks, small raised lines caused by tiny fractures in the minting die. These cracks can appear across the bird or the landscape, creating an unusual and intriguing variation that collectors love. Weak or uneven strikes are another type of rare error. When coins are struck with less pressure than usual, certain parts of the design, like the wings of the scissor-tailed flycatcher, may appear softer or less detailed than the rest of the coin. While these might look like flaws to the casual observer, collectors view them as unique features that tell the story of the minting process. Professional grading also plays a huge role in determining a coin's value. Coins are examined under magnification and evaluated for their condition, sharpness of detail, and surface quality. Coins that receive the highest grades are extremely rare because even the smallest scratch or mark can significantly lower the score. An Oklahoma quarter that survives in near-perfect condition, especially one with a rare minting error, can become the centerpiece of a serious collection. Collectors prize these coins not just for their beauty, but for the history and rarity they represent. One of the most exciting aspects of coin collecting is that treasures can be hiding anywhere. In pocket change, old coin rolls, or forgotten jars of coins that have been sitting for decades. Imagine sifting through a handful of quarters and noticing one that looks sharper, brighter, and more detailed than the rest. That small moment of curiosity could lead to a truly remarkable discovery. The Oklahoma quarter represents more than just 25 cents. It tells the story of the state's wildlife, landscapes, and cultural pride. At the same time, it serves as a reminder that even modern coins can hold extraordinary value when rarity, condition, and unique minting errors come together. And now, the moment every coin enthusiast has been waiting for. While most Oklahoma quarters are worth only their face value, a rare example in exceptional condition, or one with a remarkable minting error, could reach an astonishing value of $71,000. That incredible possibility is exactly why collectors continue searching carefully through their coins, because the next hidden treasure might already be sitting quietly in someone's pocket.